y'all doing? I rarely play in places where I can like see everyone's faces. Oh, there we go. Okay, the lights went down. Thank God. I don't want to know if you don't like it. So, my name is Angelina Valenti. Thank you, Eric, and everyone at Capital District Sportswomen of the Year for having me back this year. I'm so excited to be here. This is a song called Like I've Never Loved Before. You in a way I've never loved nobody else. My heart is in a bottle, corked and put upon your shelf, and I don't mind. Baby, I don't mind. I know the deeper your capacity to love, the deeper your well is dug for hurt. So I'll drive a little slower, take a bite less of dessert, 'cause I've got plans for a lifetime with you. I never thought I'd be the girl getting lost in a summer world. I never thought that I would say I like it this way. So I'll love like I've never loved before. Been thinking back on this time where we were a year ago. If I had any chance of loving you again, you know I had to let you go. I had to let you go. I never thought I'd be the girl getting lost in a winter world. I never thought that I would say, does it have to be this way? And it hurt like it never hurt before. Can earth and air find a way to meet in the middle? Feel the wind up there, feel the grass down here. Can we slow it down just a little? And we'll feel like we've never felt before. I never thought I'd be the girl getting lost in a boy's world. I never thought that I would say it was worth all the heartache. I never thought it would be you. I'd share my dreams, my home, my bed, and wake up every morning too. So we'll love like we've never loved before. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Angelina Valenti. Now, here is our MC. Please welcome Ashley Miller.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year Awards Gala. My name is Ashley Miller, formerly of News Channel 13 Sports. I'm now the Director of Communications and Community Outreach for the North Colony Central School District, where I graduated from 21, I don't think that's right, but unfortunately it is, 21 years ago. I am honored to be here tonight for my 4th year as MC, and I can tell you that this is a one-of-a-kind event. I don't do as many of these anymore now that I'm out of TV. It was my favorite event then, and it is still my favorite event to be a part of now. It is the only event where we highlight the best and the brightest high school and college female student athletes. And it's all thanks to this guy, the president of the Eric Idea Agency and creator of the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year, Mr. Eric McDowell.
Thank you, Ashley. Welcome home. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. First, my thank yous. Ashley Miller for guiding us through the night as our MC, and for your chats with our guest speakers. You'll love tonight's as well. Brendan Phillips, way up high, who has put together tonight's slideshow and images throughout the summer release time that the parents know. We kept asking, send us some photos. To the members of the CDSWOY board, joining Brendan, Secretary Alyssa Collins, Treasurer Jennifer McDowell, and Claire Howard from the class of 2021, their input and effort for our awards gala is appreciated. And tonight, also thanks to Anna Jankovic, also from the 21 class, for assisting us. To Angelina Valenti, we are so pleased you are back this year to entertain us with your music. Thank you all. I love the month of June because the nominations have all poured in. The media lunch has lots to discuss from all the talent. Who will win? The month also features Zoom calls with selected few for this year, seeing the smiles and families surprised and shedding a happy tear. Tonight, we honor remarkable, passionate young women who gleam: academics, athletics, community, a remarkable new undefeated team. Top 5 in her class, numerous exemplary performance awards and records on the track. The Interact Club, a women's shelter in Costa Rica. They know that Jessica has their back. League female scholar athlete, basketball records, high honor roll, nice to see. But Kayla, with Kayla's Cure Crew, your remarkable efforts and strength help your fellow teammates and those also with epilepsy. Leadership Award, Rensselaer Medal, Organizing Child Advocacy Fundraiser, you see. Top scholar athlete, all conference, Morgan will excel at the Naval Academy. Valedictorian, founder of the Korean Cultural Connections Club, Leadership Award at Shen. State qualifier, student senate, student tuner. They will remember you, Rachel Chen. 4.0 GPA in season, a 2-time softball All-American, ace of her team in the Nationals, oh yeah. Number 2 in the nation in ERA, self-confidence clinics, 2 players of the year, oh Moira. 4.0 grad and 2-time Siena Female Athlete of the Year. For awards, the MAC had to make space. Career points and assist leader, nearly 300 hours of community service. That's grace. Founder and president of the Inclusion Club and B'nai B'rith Youth Club at Shaker. Kids Care Award and many leadership awards. Mira, you truly are a difference maker. Women in Engineering Award, many sports and USA powerlifting, 3rd in her class, 98.6. High honor roll every quarter. Annabelle, so many things you excel in and mix. An all-star in 3 sports, an all-state softball team, Coaches Award and MVP, Honor Society and KPM Restoration volunteer, making the most of her time, sounds like Keeley. First team All-State volleyball and basketball, a football state finalist, quite handy. Volunteering for youth in all 3 sports, a 95.5 GPA, quite impressive, Miss Landy. Valedictorian, president of the Honor Society, started LaSalle's first girls basketball team with glee. 518 Ukrainians Helpers, raising money for Ukrainian school children. Bless you, Miss Lee. President of Student Body and Psych Club, summa cum laude with a 3.9. Ambassador, wins and strikeouts all-time leader. Leah, your sage career was mighty fine. 3 regional championships, 7 field hockey first team honors too. Nearly 10 track records, advanced diploma, Allie, BHBL, surely appreciated you. Goals and assists from Ava led Albany to the league title game 2 straight years. Founding Hidden Opponent for student mental health, she helps guide them through fears. Think for a moment, everyone. We get just one life to make the most of it. Look at what these ladies have accomplished already. Stunning, isn't it? You are our heroes, role models, and yet so much awaits you still. For one night, bask in the glory, do something you never do, just chill. For what you do here, and for what you do here, well, that's why you're here. Enjoy your evening, 2025 Capital District Sportswomen of the Year. Thank you so much.
That poem also makes this event very unique. I don't know many people who run events like this who put the time and effort and personal touches that Eric does, so thank you, Eric, for the personal touch. Little cheesy, but you're a dad, so we'll allow it. We'll allow it. A lot of hard work went into that. There are a lot of people we want to thank before we get going too much here tonight. To start, Senator Jim Tedisco has been a huge supporter of this event each year. Unfortunately, he could not be here tonight, but each year he provides us with proclamations from the New York State Senate for all of our recipients. They did receive those upstairs at the reception, so we hope you enjoy those, appreciate those. That's a really special memento to take home tonight. So thank you to Senator Tedisco and all of his people. This doesn't happen in the way that it does without sponsors. We're going to start. We appreciate all of our sponsors, all of our advertisers, and the sponsor for our family reception with our honorees tonight, this evening. I know Eric mentioned them upstairs, but this was our chance, their chance to meet and mingle, and we really appreciate the sponsorship of Hannaford. So a round of applause for Hannaford. Sunmark is also a sponsor here tonight, and I know that Mrs. Bedoin is in the crowd. Mrs. Bedoin is the new president and CEO of Sunmark and the mother of one of our honorees, and Mrs. Bedoin, we appreciate your sponsorship, so thank you very much. The CDSWOY Appreciation Award is an award presented at the discretion of the CDSWOY board. So this isn't something we give out every year. Recipients are recognized for outstanding work in women's sports. Tonight will mark the 4th time this special honor will be presented. Miss Liz Bishop recently retired from her long and meritorious service at WRGB-TV, known to us all as CBS 6. Her service in the community is remarkable, and it's fitting to bring her back here to Proctors, where she hosted the Melodies of Christmas for so many years. She started as a sports anchor and broke barriers for women in broadcasting just like me. You can read much more about Liz in tonight's program, and I'm going to read the plaque that Eric will now present to Liz, which says, "In honor of your pioneering work for women in sports media and your service to the community in the Capital District, Eric and the CDSWOY board would like to take this opportunity to present Liz Bishop with an award of appreciation. Please welcome Miss Liz Bishop."
Thank you so much, Eric. It's really a great honor to be receiving this award and to be here with all of you today, especially all of the dedicated and really accomplished young athletes that have really worked so hard to make their families and their schools and themselves proud of their achievements, and you have done it in such a big way. So congratulations to all of you. I was pretty close to your age when I started on my path in journalism, and there were no organized girls' sports programs at the time, which sounds a little strange for all of you, but when I was in school back in the 70s, we had nothing. So I never was an athlete. I never took part in sports. But I grew up in a family with 3 brothers, no sisters, and 1 television set. So I watched a lot of sports over the years, and I grew to love them, so much so that I was the sports editor of my high school newspaper. And then I got a job just before I started college, a part-time job working for the Albany Times-Union in their sports department. And the guy who would become my boss on television read my weekly column and offered me a job. And I took the job, and the rest, as they say, is kind of history. And even though I was just really one of a handful of women sportscasters back in the 70s, I never really felt like I was a trailblazer. I felt like I was the luckiest person in the world. And I was 25 years old, and when probably my big breakthrough pioneer moment came. And that was the time when I walked into the New York Yankee locker room as a woman sportscaster after a judge had ruled that women had to be allowed into the locker room, women reporters anyhow, to do the stories that they needed to do their jobs. And you can imagine, I was 25 years old, and I was scared to death, and my heart was in my throat, and I was so worried that these big tough guys like Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson, and, well, you can ask your parents or maybe grandparents who they were, but I was afraid that they would chew my head off, and, because they were in the middle of a pennant race at the time, and I thought, they're going to just think we're a terrible distraction to be in there. And they did, and it was sort of like a big circus. Everybody was just sort of running around. The women were running around trying to get their interviews, and the players were being reluctant at best, or in some cases gracious. And that was kind of like the situation. But there was a really serious purpose to our being there that day, and I knew that firsthand. And it was really all about parity, how women reporters whose really livelihoods depended on their getting those interviews so that they could compete with men needed to be in that locker room to get those stories. You probably would find it hard to believe, because we all see so many women sports reporters today on TV, that at that time, a woman sportscaster, there were only a handful of us around the country. If they wanted to cover a sporting event, a big sporting event, they would actually have to wait hours until the players came out of the locker rooms to give them their post-game interviews. It put them at a tremendous disadvantage. And I can remember being sent to cover a Mets game at Shea Stadium. And this is true. This is after the Yankee locker room situation, but it didn't go across all the lines, so that the Mets still had a closed locker room. And I was sent there because there was a local guy. His name was Dave Palmer. He was a pitcher from Glens Falls who had just been traded to the Montreal Expos, and they were playing the Mets that night. And there was a chance that he might get in the game, and that's why they sent me. Well, he didn't just get in the game. He won the game. First major league win for Dave Palmer, and I'm there. And he's in the locker room having champagne poured over his head, and his brand new teammates are cheering him on, and they're so excited for him. And I have to send an usher in to get him, to bring him out of the locker room, to do an interview with me in a dusty hallway with a cement block behind his head. So we didn't get any of that excitement of his big first major league win. And that's really when I knew just how important it was that I was in that locker room with the Yankees that year before. And if you had told me then, I'm wrapping up now, I'm sorry, I got a little excited there, but if you had told me then that that this day would come, that I would be standing here today and we'd be celebrating such amazing young women athletes, I probably would have been hopeful, but I think I also would have been pretty skeptical, because it seemed as if there was still so very far to go to get where we needed to be. But I'm really, really excited and happy that we're here tonight, that in fact this is happening. I congratulate each and every one of you, and I know that there will be many, many more celebrations to come. And I thank you so much for this really meaningful award. It takes me back to my early days, which were some of my happiest days in television. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Liz. And I grew up in the Capital Region, so I remember Liz as a news anchor and a news reporter. But I have to tell you, 5 years ago, there are 4 television stations in town. And 5 years ago, Liz, there was a female sports anchor or director at every single one of those TV stations. And that is because of you, partially because of you. So that's, yes. Now we just got to get more events like this happening in the Capital Region and we'll be all set, right? All right, now for the 6th year, we will introduce you to the most remarkable and accomplished young women in the Capital District and the reason we are all here tonight. Let's meet the members of the 2025 class of the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year. We're going to start with Jessica Beckman of Caro Durham High School. Academically, Jessica has been on the Principal's Honor Roll and High Honor Roll. She was awarded merit scholarships from each college and university that she applied to and has received awards from each of her classes for outstanding academic achievement or exemplary performance. She finished in the top 5 of her graduating class. Athletically, Jessica holds 7 indoor track and field school records and 5 outdoor track and field school records at Caro Durham. She holds all the hurdles and jumping records. Jessica was a Patroon Conference First Team All-Star in both track and field and tennis. She also won the Patroon Conference Championship in tennis. In the community, Jessica has been a member of the Interact Club for 4 years. In the National Honor Society, she served more than 100 hours of community service. She's tutored students at the middle school and volunteered for the literacy program at the elementary school. Jessica participated in a large-scale service project helping to build a women's shelter in Costa Rica. Jessica becomes the first Caro Durham High School student athlete selected by CDSWOY. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Jessica Beckman.
Good evening, everyone. I'd firstly like to thank the Capital District for honoring me with this award. I'm beyond grateful for my friends and family for showing up for me today. Growing up, sports has always been a part of my life, starting off watching my siblings in high school to me being a competitive gymnast for 10 years to finally starting my own high school sports journey in track and tennis. Being a part of a sports team gave me purpose and a second family where I always felt supported and welcomed. I know my high school years would not be the same if it weren't for sports. The lessons I've learned, the relationships I've formed, and the accomplishments that I've made have shaped me into the person I am today and that I want to be. There were times that I wanted to quit and give up, but being a part of a team for so long made me realize that's not an option, no matter how difficult the situation is in sports or real life. During my senior year, I sprained my ankle 2 times, once during tennis and once during outdoor track. I was angry and I wanted to give up. I didn't know where that anger came from until I realized it was because of my deep passion for my sports and how badly I wanted to play. So I didn't give up, I showed up, and I worked just as hard, which was rewarding in the end. Coming off both injuries, I managed to win the Patroon Championship as a doubles team in tennis and beat the school's 400 hurdle record, both of these being at the end of the season. I couldn't imagine what would have happened if I didn't push myself, but I know this award isn't about stats. It's about dedication, perseverance, and heart, and I'm incredibly grateful that the district saw and is acknowledging me for that. Coming from my school where the sports teams are small and the girls' teams are even smaller, I am proud to say that I was a part of them. Even if it meant having to work extra hard and having slim chances of winning, the relationships and atmosphere and compared to the sizes of the teams didn't change a thing compared to if the teams were huge. If anything, it gave room for deeper connections and a long-lasting bonds that you could only find in a women's team. Sports made my high school time richer. My passion and perseverance in athletics helped me excel in academics as well as giving back to the community, which I value greatly, and I'm thankful to be recognized for my achievements. Now, I'd like to thank a couple of people that made my journey possible, and I wouldn't be standing here today without them. I'd like to thank my coaches for believing and pushing me, for never letting me give up on myself, and giving me the confidence I need, Mr. Parks, Alexa, and Taylor. Thank you to all my teammates who supported me, my second family who are running beside me and at the end of the finish line to embrace me. Thank you to my siblings for making me how competitive and driven I am, my parents who are at every single match or meet cheering me on and being proud of me, my dad being the strongest person I know, and my mom who stepped up to coach tennis, indoor and outdoor track when we didn't have a team because there was no other coach. Thank you to all of my friends who supported me, especially the ones here tonight, Zoe who has always been there for me, acting as my personal manager during track, my best friend Aiden who went with me to faraway meets when it was just me competing, and my best friend and boyfriend Connor who has always been by my side showing me immense unconditional support. I am proud to be a woman in sports and continue my journey in college. Thank you for everyone who believed in me and stood by me, especially my athletic director, the best one there is, Mr. Greg Hagan, who nominated me as the first recipient from my school to receive this award. He always supported me and saw me as a role model for the younger athletes, even choosing me as the Girls Athlete of the Year for my senior class. I cannot express how grateful I am to be here. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jessica. Ooh, sorry. I'm a little louder than Jessica. Next, let's meet Kayla Bedoin of Tamarack High School. Academically, Kayla received the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Section 2 School of Excellence distinction from 2020 through 2024. She's earned high honor roll and scholar athlete recognition since 7th grade and was a member of the Tamarack DEI Committee and the National Honor Society, as well as the National Junior Honor Society. She was named top female scholar athlete for the Wasserman League and received the Lemoyne College Heights Award. Athletically, Kayla was an Albany Times Union All-Star in both her junior and senior years. In the Section 2 basketball record book, she broke records with more than 400 points in a season and more than 100 three-pointers. She was a Section 2 All-Star and played for AAU elite basketball teams since 5th grade. Her volleyball career included Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and MVP. In the community, Kayla has worked closely with the Northeast Epilepsy Foundation. At 6 months of age, Kayla was diagnosed with epilepsy and had more than 40 seizures by age 1. She takes medicine twice a day to control her seizures. Kayla began volunteering for the foundation to repay its support of her family. Kayla went to Washington to meet with legislators, has gone on several walks to promote epilepsy awareness, and was the epilepsy winning kid in 2nd grade. She organized Kayla's Cure Crew, which has raised more than $75,000 and organized an epilepsy awareness basketball game at her school her sophomore year. Kayla has been a volunteer for the Sunmark Credit Union Foundation and other entities. Kayla becomes the 2nd Tamarack student athlete selected by CDSWOY, joining Emily Frost. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Kayla Bedoin.
Is it good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am so honored to be receiving this award alongside these other amazing women. I would first like to thank the committee for selecting me for this prestigious honor and for giving me the opportunity to speak to all of you tonight. I would also like to thank my family. Without their endless love and support, I don't know where I would be today. Along with that, I would like to thank all the families in the audience tonight. The amount of time going to games and supporting our passions has truly been irreplaceable. I would also like to thank all the people in my life who have supported me in any way, friends, teammates, coaches, teachers, coworkers. I appreciate all of the support. Each person who will come onto the stage tonight has one thing in common, the reason why we all started to play sports, because we love it. My first love was basketball. Basketball has been consistent throughout my life. My second love is volleyball. Volleyball came later in my athletic journey, but has brought me so many fond memories. Each sport has taught me so many things about life, myself, and others. One of the most consistent things in my life has been my epilepsy. I would consider myself lucky. I have found a medication that is able to control my seizures. Having epilepsy has taught me not to judge others and to always reach for the stars. Helping others is one of the most rewarding things you can do, especially when you can connect to why you're helping them. Lastly, I would like to congratulate all the young women being honored tonight. Being a student athlete takes sacrifice, hard work, and determination. I know all of these women have given so much to their respective sports, to their academic studies, and to their communities. I wish everyone the best of luck with their futures, and remember to always reach for the stars. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Now we learn more about Morgan Brewer of the Academy of the Holy Names. Academically, Morgan received the Capital Zone New York State, I forgot to do my homework and look up what this acronym means, so you're just gonna get ASPERD, High School Senior Leadership Award. She is an AP scholar, a member of the National Honor Society, and received the Rensselaer Medal and is a member of the National Honor Society High School Scholars. She received a Leadership and Ethics SCPME Workshop Certificate of Excellence. Morgan was an ROTC Scholarship winner for 4 years and received the National NROTC Scholarship. Athletically, in soccer, Morgan was named second team Colonial Council last fall. In basketball, Morgan was a Colonial Council top scholar athlete and a third team all-conference selection, as well as the Girls Basketball Scholar Athlete Award winner. Morgan was the Academy of Holy Names Most Improved Player in track as a member of relay teams that finished in the top 4 in Section 2 and in state qualifiers. Morgan's community service includes organizing a fundraiser for the Child Advocacy Center and working with Action and Advocacy. She also served the Fruit Within Our Spirit and Things of My Very Own organizations while recording 61 hours of community service during her scholastic career. Eric made a road trip to the Academy of the Holy Names to meet Morgan before she reported to the U.S. Naval Academy. Let's listen to her comments.
Thank you, Ashley. I am sorry I'm not able to be here in person tonight, but I would like to thank CDSWOY for being so accommodating. I would also like to thank CDSWOY for putting together this gala and for allowing me to be a part of it. My name is Morgan Brewer, and I am a recent graduate of the Academy of the Holy Names. I will be attending the United States Naval Academy this fall, and am currently at basic training now, which is why I am unable to attend tonight's gala. I would like to thank CDSWOY again for this honor. I am extremely grateful, although I did not get here all on my own. I would first like to thank my parents, who have been by my side every day, whether it was standing in the pouring rain at a soccer game or waiting out a 6-hour track meet. You have always been there for me. I would like to thank my coaches, who have not only helped me grow as an athlete, but as a person. Thank you, Coach Teagan. You are so much more than a soccer coach. You are a mentor and the outline of the person I hope to become. Thank you, Coach Giglio, for pushing me every day to grow as a basketball player and as a leader. You helped me find a role even when I was sidelined due to injuries or transfer rules. I would also like to thank my club soccer coaches, Coach Corey and Coach Ashley. FC Deshburn Soccer will always be my forever family. Another thank you to Coach Twiggs and the Lady Stars basketball program. Coach Twiggs, I have never had a coach push me as much as you have, and I know I would not be the person I am today without you. Lastly, I would like to thank Coach Cherubino, who we all just called Bino. He was my track coach the last 4 years at Holy Names, and truly an inspiration. He was probably one of the hardest coaches I have ever had. He always told us that the day he stopped yelling was the day we should worry. It was the way he showed he cared, and I will always love him for that. Unfortunately, he passed away this past November, but his legacy will live on. Thank you for everything, Bino. Thank you again to CDSWOY for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight, even if it looks a little different. I am forever grateful. Have a great night.
And Morgan couldn't be here tonight, but ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Morgan's parents, Erica and Jason, to accept her award as a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year. Congratulations, Jason. Next, let's meet Rachel Chen from Shenandoah High School. Academically, Rachel was the valedictorian of a class of more than 700 students at Shen. She was the founder of the Korean Cultural Connections Club and received the Suburban Council Excellence in Leadership Award and was a leader in several National Honor Society clubs. Athletically, Rachel was a key player for the soccer team and had an excellent career in track. She broke long-standing records in the long jump and 4x55 shuttle hurdle relay. She was also a state qualifier for multiple years and finished 8th at the New Balance Nike Invitational Championships in her sophomore season. Rachel's community service includes serving as a Student Faculty Administration Senate member. She was also a National Honor Society tutor for younger students and was a member of the Key Club and Leo Club. Rachel becomes the first Shenandoah High School student athlete selected by CDSWOY. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Rachel Chen.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you so much. Being named a Capital District Sportswoman of the Year is something I never expected when I started as a freshman, and I'm honestly just so really grateful. This award means a lot to me because it's not just about sports. It's about the work we put in outside of practices and games, the hours spent on schoolwork, the things we try to do for others, and just trying to be the best version of ourselves. I'm really proud to be part of something that recognizes all of that. Thank you to Mr. McDowell and everyone at CDSWOY for creating this amazing program. I also wanted to thank Mr. LeBaire for nominating me and being here tonight. I feel so lucky to be here celebrating female student athletes. To my soccer coaches, especially Coach Nursberger, thank you for believing in me from the time I was a middle schooler to now. You pushed me to be better every day and supported me even when I had to make tough choices like stepping away from club soccer. Your trust in me and your constant support made a huge impact on my life. To my track coaches, Coach Marino, Coach Burlingame, and Coach Rachel, thank you for always showing up for me. You drove countless hours, spent long days at meets, and put so much into helping everyone succeed. I've learned so much from your example. To my family, thank you for being there in every single way, for being the best cheerleaders, encouraging me to follow my passions, and for always being in my corner, no matter what. I couldn't have done any of this without you. To my teammates, thank you for being some of the most driven, supportive, and fun people I know. Whether we were pushing through a hard practice, celebrating a win, or just goofing off in the bus, you made it all so much better. You've taught me what it means to work hard and enjoy the journey too. And to the other honorees, congratulations. Being here with all of you is genuinely inspiring. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I can't imagine being the valedictorian of a class of 700 people. Congratulations, Rachel. Now let's meet Maura Collins from Hudson Valley Community College. Academically, Maura finished her spring semester with a 4.0 GPA while in season. Overall, she graduated with a cumulative GPA of 3.57. She was named to the Fall 2024 President's List at HVCC, as well as the Dean's List at Russell Sage during the 2023 fall semester. Athletically, Maura was named to the NJCAA Division III Softball All-America First Team and the NFCA Division III NJCAA All-Star All-America First Team. You guys are really tripping me up here with all your awards. She was the NJCAA Region III Player of the Year and the MVC Player of the Year as well. She was selected to the NJCAA Region III First Team and Conference First Team. Maura was 14-5 with 133 strikeouts, which placed her second on the all-time list at HVCC. She ranked second in the nation with a 1.57 ERA, and the Vikings played in the Nationals while ranking as high as 8th in the coaches poll at the NJCAA level. In the community, Maura took part in several volunteer opportunities with High Five Sports. High Five Sports provides camps and clinics for people with special needs to help them build self-confidence and friendships. Maura becomes the first Hudson Valley Community College student athlete selected by CDSWOY. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Maura Collins.
Hi, everyone. First, I would like to say congratulations to all of the other girls in this class. It is an honor to be amongst you guys today. I've never been a girl of very many words, so it's not a surprise when all I'd like to say today is thank you. To my parents, first, I would like to thank you all for all of the sacrifices you've made to make a little girl's dream come true. I wouldn't be standing here today without your endless love, support, and guidance. To my family, thank you for showing up, rain or shine, just to show your support for myself and my team. You made my home games very special. Thank you to the Hudson Valley Community College coaching staff for giving me a second chance to play the sport I love and the opportunity to compete at the next level. To all of my coaches throughout the years, thank you for shaping me into the person and player I am today, and for believing in me when I didn't even believe in myself. To my teammates, thank you for becoming my second family. Without the other 8 girls on the team, none of my, on the field, not the team, none of my other successes would have been possible. With that being said, I would like to leave you with the 3 values that have been instilled in me from the first coach that ever believed in me, and that have made me into the player that I am today. First, always remember to have fun. Always play with your heart, because heart will always beat talent. And always remember to thank your parents. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Maura. Next, let's honor Grace Dobrinsky from Siena College. Academically, Grace graduated with a 4.0 GPA and will continue her education at the University at Albany Medical Program. Grace was named the Student Athlete of the Month for February and was named to the MAC All-Academic Team and MAC Academic Honor Roll. She was named the 2024-25 Siena Student Female Athlete of the Year for the 2nd straight year. Athletically, Grace wound up as the all-time Siena women's lacrosse leader in career points with 256. She's also first all-time with 174 assists and finished the 2025 season with 36 assists and 62 points, leading the Saints in assists and points. She was named to the MAC First Team at Attack and the MAC Championship Team. Grace contributed more than 270 hours of community service as a cabin counselor at the Double H Ranch and the Kenya Lacrosse Association. She was a nominee for the All-State NACDA Good Work Team by the Team Selection Committee. Grace becomes the 3rd Siena student athlete selected by CDSWOY. She joins Talia Spenziero and Olivia Lomascolo. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Grace Dobrinsky.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be here tonight. I want to start by thanking the Capital District Sportswoman of the Year Selection Committee, particularly Eric McDowell, as well as the sponsors who made this night possible. It's an exciting privilege to be in the company of such talented and impressive individuals, and I'm so grateful to the committee for considering me worthy of this type of recognition. Like many of you in this room, most of my life has revolved around sports for as long as I can remember. I started playing lacrosse when I was 5 years old, and I can still remember how I felt as a kid learning to play this complicated game. I was pretty slow and uncoordinated, but I was extremely competitive, and already knew my own self enough to know that I'd probably only have fun if I could play this game well. Before long, I became infatuated with lacrosse, and I spent a large chunk of my childhood in the backyard working on stick skills and shooting. Thanks to my absurdly generous and dedicated parents, I was fortunate enough to play for both town and club teams, which inevitably led to a long road of recruiting showcases, road trips, and phone calls, culminating in the triumphant moment in my junior year of high school when I finally committed to play at Siena College. But that was really only the beginning. Of course, I spent the next 6 years working to prove to both myself and my coaches that they made the right choice investing in me. And in a world in which there are very limited viable career paths as a professional women's lacrosse player, as is commonly the case in women's sports, one might hear the story and reasonably wonder, to what end? What is the point of all those hours of work, travel, and stress? Well, I think that's a question I can only answer best in hindsight. Now that I've graduated from college and retired from competitive lacrosse, I'm embarking on an entirely new journey in medical school at Albany Med. Now, more than ever, I feel so blessed to have spent my life in an environment of competitive athletics, because I believe it has forced me to develop skills that will pay dividends in my professional pursuits. Being a competitive athlete is hard, and that's exactly the reason why it is so important for young girls and women like me to do it. There is so much more to a life in athletics than just practicing the skills and playing in the games. If we want to succeed in sports, we have to adapt to some intimidating challenges. We have to face the reality of repeated failure and choose to keep going when it is inconvenient and painful. We have to get used to operating on a schedule that is significantly tighter than the other high school and college students our age. We have to consistently conjure the best versions of ourselves in the moments of the highest pressure when the most people are counting on us. I admit that the practical skills and shining achievements that I earned in my lacrosse career will probably serve me no purpose as a medical student and future doctor, but those other things, the communication skills, the goal setting, time management, mental toughness, attention to detail, openness to feedback, discipline, precision under pressure, and ability to work well with the team, those are as indispensable to a doctor as they are to an athlete. So it doesn't matter that my days of lacing up the cleats are over, because the lessons that I learned from playing sports will continue to serve me throughout my professional career. Though it may not seem obvious on the surface, I'm better prepared to serve my future patients because of my time as an athlete. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my parents for encouraging their daughter to be tough, brave, and bold, and for committing so much time, energy, and money to supporting my dreams. Thank you to my brothers for teaching me to compete and celebrating every moment with me. Thank you also to my coaches, Danielle, Tara, and Sarah, for pushing me to improve and challenging me to develop my character as much as my game. Thank you to Peter, Lori, and the rest of the athletic staff at Siena for creating an environment that allowed me to grow and thrive. Thank you to the Fecos and Leah for being my support system through every up and down, and I'm so glad you're here tonight. And again, thank you to the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year Committee for honoring the unique way that sports can cultivate the entire person. When we support and celebrate women in sports, we open doors for young girls to reach new heights and realize their potential to become powerful, collaborative, and confident women in the world. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Grace. I'm not going to say anything better than that tonight, so don't look at me. Next, let's honor Mira Ginsburg of Shaker High School. Academically, Mira is the president and founder of the Include the Blue Inclusion Club at Shaker. She founded the organization in 10th grade and has served as the president ever since. She received a Kids Care Award as the North Colony Central School District Student of the Month and has a 92 GPA. Athletically, Mira was the unified bowling captain and participated in both years the sport was offered. She was a unified basketball captain and participated in all 4 years the sport was offered. Mira was a unified physical education participant and partner. Mira's community service includes serving as the founder and board president of the BBYO Capital Region. She's the regional president of the Special Olympics Youth Activation Committee and the inaugural board member. She served as the president of the Mifgosh Community High Program. Honors include the Lenore Bellin Leadership Award from the Albany Jewish Community Center, the Albany Tulip Queen, and Court Scholarship and the Maccabi Teen Leadership Award from the Capital Region Board of Rabbis. Mira becomes the second Shaker High School student athlete selected by CDSWOY, joining Liani Griffin. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Mira Ginsburg.
Want that to break. Good evening, everyone. I am so deeply honored and humbled to be standing here tonight as one of the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year. I want to begin by thanking the selection committee for recognizing not just me on behalf of North Colony Central School District, but the work of the entire unified community. This award may have my name on it, but I'm accepting it on behalf of every athlete, partner, coach, teacher, volunteer, and advocate who has believed in the power of inclusion. I would also like to congratulate my fellow winners. You're all truly amazing. Over the years, this award has spotlighted remarkable female athletes who have broken records, led their teams to victory, and redefined excellence in sports. And tonight, to be standing among those trailblazers, not just for my physical achievements, I'm not your typical athlete, but for my championship and commitment to inclusion. It really means more than I can express. This moment tells a bigger story, a story about how the definition of a sportswoman is evolving. It's no longer just about how fast we run, how high we jump, or how many points we score. It's also about how we lead, how we lift others up, and how we use our voices and our platforms to create space for everyone to belong. Unified sports changed my life. It introduced me to teammates who became family and to a community that redefines strength and resilience every day. I've seen firsthand how inclusion isn't just powerful, it's transformational. When students with and without intellectual disabilities come together, barriers break down. Differences don't disappear, but they stop dividing us. And so, receiving this award sends a message. Leadership through kindness, through compassion, through courage is worthy of celebration. That a Scholastic Sports Award can and should recognize more than statistics. It can recognize impact. To my incredible mentors at Shaker, Special Olympics, in the community, my teachers, teammates, and my family and friends, thank you. Thank you for not only showing up for me tonight, but for inspiring me and encouraging me every single day. Thank you for showing me what loyalty, true sportsmanship, and leadership look like. To Shaker Athletics, and especially Mrs. Murray and Mr. Colfer. Thank you for nominating me to receive this award. You have both been some of the biggest supporters of the unified community at Shaker and me personally, and I'm so incredibly lucky to have learned from you. Lastly, I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing to recognize that sports can be a vehicle not just for competition, but for change. Thank you, and congratulations to my fellow champions.
Thank you, Mira. At this time, we're going to take a brief 10-minute intermission, and when we come back, you'll meet more of our CDSWOY stars, along with another performance by Angelina and my chat with Emma Baccelleri. First half recipients, if you have the time between a bathroom break, please proceed out here with your award. We've got a photographer to the entrance area who will take pictures with you and your family, then come back and join us inside for our second half. Thanks, guys. All right, everybody, I hope you had a nice little break there. I think we'll probably get some people spilling back in, but we'd like to welcome back our guest performer tonight, Angelina Valenti. She's won the Thomas Edison Music Award for Songwriter of the Year, Album of the Year, and Artist of the Year for the Capital Region, and we are so, so grateful to have her back for the second straight year. Please welcome back Angelina Valenti.
Hope you all had a good first half. I just have to say, I felt this way last year as well, but All of you are just such incredible people. I feel like you've done more with your very thus far short lives than I've done with all my 31 years. So I'm always just so impressed. And I just want to take a beat to talk about this song for a second, because we're here tonight kind of talking about all of these amazing accolades and things. But this next song I'm about to play, I was toying around with whether or not I wanted to play it because it's kind of a dichotomy to what we're celebrating tonight. But I think that for every moment that we feel really great, we have moments where we feel maybe not so great. And this is kind of a song about that, kind of opposing that moment. So, and knowing that it's okay to feel that way, and just kind of like finding home in our bodies, no matter what state we're in, good and bad, and everything in between. So this is a song called Broken. You lie in bed looking up, wondering if you'll make it through the night. Follow your breath, it's not enough, and it's not even 4 a.m. Oh, the wait is never ending. You're gonna be here for a while. Don't wanna be broken, I wanna feel whole again. I'm just finding my way back to me. Don't wanna be lonesome, wanna feel home again. I'm just finding my way back to me. I'm just finding my way back to me. Fluorescent lights, blood pressure cuff, the sound the Velcro makes when it comes off. Vital signs, pop a pill, another for what that one does to you. All these stories are too familiar. You're gonna be here for a while. Don't wanna be broken, I wanna feel whole again. I'm just finding my way back to me. Don't wanna be lonesome, wanna feel home again. I'm just finding my way back to me. I'm just finding my way. I'd never been afraid to die, but when death looked me in the eye, I knew I didn't want to go. Knew there had to be more to this life. Knew I just didn't have enough time. Or maybe I just didn't want to say goodbye. Don't wanna be broken, wanna feel whole again. I'm just finding my way back to me. Don't wanna be lonesome, wanna feel home again. I'm just finding my way back to me. Don't wanna be broken, I wanna feel whole again. I'm just finding my way back to me. Don't wanna be lonesome, wanna feel home again. I'm just finding my way back to me. I'm just finding my way back to me. I'm just finding my way back to me. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Have a lovely rest of your night. Thank you.
Super, super talented. Thank you so much, Angelina. We really appreciate you being back here with us for the second straight year. We are so proud of the nationally prominent guest speakers for this event over the years, and tonight is no exception. We're pleased to present to you my conversation with our guest speaker from Sports Illustrated, Emma Baccellieri, and you can learn more about Emma in tonight's program magazine. Here at Capital District Sportswomen of the Year, we have had the opportunity to have some really phenomenal female guest speakers, Olympic athletes, Olympic coaches, collegiate coaches, and this year, someone in the sports industry, a writer who is a powerhouse working for Sports Illustrated. Emma Baccellieri joins us now for Capital District Sportswomen of the Year. Emma, thank you so much for joining us, number one. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Just excited to be here and to honor all of these incredible young women.
Let's talk a little bit about what you do. So some of these ladies who maybe don't read SI in the original copy like I still do, I still read it in the physical copy. A lot of people read it on the app now. You've been with Sports Illustrated now since 2018. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do for them and kind of your topic areas?
Yeah, so I'm a staff writer. I was hired originally to cover baseball and MLB, which is a long time love of mine. But over the last couple of years, I've been able to pivot into covering all women's sports, but especially women's basketball, which is really great. It's always been something that's been dear to my heart, and getting to cover women's sports and highlight all of these incredible female athletes has just been a dream come true to do all of this coverage, whether in print, online, video, podcasting, across the board.
Emma, what is your sports background? Were you an athlete growing up? What were kind of your exposures to sports?
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I was someone who always loved sports, was always outside. The one that I stuck with through high school was tennis, which still is something I love today. Wasn't good enough to play in college, but still have kept that as, a passion casually. And then, outside of playing sports, I always was one of those kids who was reading, watching Sports Center, checking box scores in the newspaper, which makes me sound very old. And that was just a huge part of what I loved growing up in whatever way I could kind of channel that interest.
I know we're not the same age, but that makes me feel a little bit closer to you in age when you're talking about box scores, watching Sports Center, because I know probably a lot of the female athletes in the audience today don't necessarily watch Sports Center anymore in quite the same way. But in terms of how media has evolved, how has SI in your time there evolved to keep up with some of the ways that these young female athletes are absorbing and taking in media on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky transition to make. Things have changed a lot, but I think the one kind of core pillar here is that good stories are good stories no matter what platform or medium you're telling them in, and amazing athletes are amazing no matter how you're showcasing them. So we still have the print magazine, which I still love, which even a lot of younger athletes are still excited to see in print just because you have fewer opportunities for that nowadays. But there's so much on social media, the way that we showcase and break apart a story to put on Instagram versus on YouTube versus in a podcast. Having all of those formats as well is really important in just reaching people wherever they are on whatever platform that is. And yeah, just having that core identity be the same of like a good story is a good story. And a great athlete who's worth hearing about is going to be worth hearing about no matter what the platform is.
I love that. Emma, your story is kind of interesting. North Carolina girl, you go to Duke University, which is an incredible academic institution. For the women we're honoring here tonight, we have 10 high school athletes, 3 college athletes, and they've been selected for not only academics, but obviously athletics and extracurriculars, which we generally put as to community service. So, and all 3 have to be equal. So you have to be good at all of these things. You're a little bit of an interesting case study in that, can you tell them what you studied at Duke University and how your kind of track took you to where you are?
Yeah, so I studied history in college, which is perhaps not the most practical major, but it was something I found really interesting. I found that I had really great professors, and I had extracurriculars and internships that rounded out what I was doing outside of the classroom. So I was, studying something I found interesting, but then I was really involved with the student newspaper, which is where I found that I really learned how to do what I ended up doing for a career. I had internships every summer. That was a huge thing for me, just getting whatever kind of practical hands-on experience I could, and then being able to eventually translate that into a career. And so, yeah, just taking the idea that the classroom is important, but obviously all of these young women know already that what you do outside of the classroom can be just as important. And there are so many different paths to get to wherever you think you might want to be getting. And also you might find out that what you want changes as you go through college, as you go through that first job.
100%. You study history in college. You then go into sports media. You said you started in Major League Baseball. You've covered 5 World Series, right?
Yes.
Your experience as a female sports writer and what we would dub a male-dominated industry, and whether or not people want to believe it, I would say it's still pretty heavily dominated by males. But what was your experience like as a female in that industry, and still even now when you're writing about women's sports?
Yeah, I think, I would be lying if I said it can't be challenging at times, but I think there is something to being able to recognize, like, maybe this makes me different. Maybe I'm the only woman in this room, but being different doesn't have to mean something bad. That in fact, you can kind of take that and make that an asset that, if you're the only woman covering a team, that means you stand out and players are more likely to remember you versus, a bunch of guys who all look the same to them. For when I was covering baseball, players' wives and girlfriends and mothers are incredible resources that some other reporters don't think to talk to as much, and they can give you perspective that a teammate might not be able to give if you're writing about a certain player. And a lot of times I was quicker to make those connections than some other male writers might be. So just kind of recognizing that, like, yes, sometimes you're going to stand out. It's going to be different, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. And then also just realizing, allies come in all different shapes and sizes and genders, that there were a lot of really incredible men who stood up for me and helped me early in my career. And of course, obviously many women as well, but that, you don't have to assume just because someone is, an old man who's been doing this for decades and decades doesn't mean he's going to want to freeze you out. He might want to be really helpful and give you a helping hand. So yeah, just keeping an open mind and believing in yourself and trying to be confident and recognize that, if you're in the room, you deserve to be in the room, and now you have a chance to show it.
It's a really cool experience and a really cool perspective kind of in that realm. And I don't know that many people would think of, like you said, wives, mothers, sort of those female figures in male sports or more male players' lives that you would think of to talk to. That's really cool. Your transition to more of female sports coverage and women's sports. What has that been like for you, particularly with what I will call the explosion of women's sports? I mean, you have been in it at maybe the greatest time ever to cover women's sports, whether it's college basketball, whether it's the WNBA, Olympic sports. It just seems like there is no better time to be a female athlete.
Yeah, it's been so incredible to watch over the last couple of years. And, to think of when I was growing up, even when I started my career, the idea of being able to do feature writing about female athletes full time just didn't really seem like a job you could have. And the fact that that is a job now, that there are outlets across the country that recognize that there is such a demand for these stories and for more information about these athletes has been the coolest thing in the world to witness. It is interesting getting into a space where it's not as built up as something like Major League Baseball, which is very traditional in a lot of ways and has, media structures that have been set in stone for a really long time. That being in a space that's moving faster and growing is fun and exciting, and it comes with different challenges. But, for the most part, I just think it's just so incredible that these athletes are finally getting their due, that people want to read more and hear more about them, and just getting to tell these stories is such a gift and makes me so excited to come to work every day.
Emma, you've also covered 4 women's Final Fours. Do you have a moment, a story that stands out in those experiences?
Gosh, I mean, the last 4 years have all been incredible, including my first one was that bubble in 2021, where that was completely different, whereas an empty stadium because that was still coming out of the pandemic. And that was really crazy, where everyone had been quarantined for a full month in San Antonio. So that was memorable in its own way, seeing Stanford win there. But certainly the last couple of years, Caitlin Clark in Iowa, which that took me to Albany, although that was the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, not the Final Four.
Yep.
Just watching that kind of groundswell of fandom and interest from, it felt like literally all over the country. And when you talked to people in the crowd of where they were coming from, it was just like nothing I had ever seen. And I think that first Final Four where Iowa beat South Carolina, which was then undefeated in Dallas, before going on to play LSU in the championship, that one was just the fan environment there, the intensity, the games were incredible. That one was really one where I just, sitting there courtside thinking, like, this is a game I'm going to remember. This is something I've never seen before in women's sports that I felt like was just the kind of thing like you hold on to tell your kids about. And so that really, seeing how much things had changed both 2023 and then seeing how that built and continued for 2024 was just incredible. And I think something I'll never forget.
Yeah, I was in Albany with my husband. We were at some of those games. I know there will be people in the audience tonight and their parents who were at those games because it was like it was all the rage. I mean, it was where anyone in the country would have wanted to be, and it just so happened to be in our backyard, which was really great for Albany. I know Eric McDowell, who is the guy running the show tonight, the man behind Capital District Sportswomen of the Year, was also in Albany for that NCAA tournament. Emma, what can you say about just this program in general? So this is a mission that Eric kind of took on his own. He saw a need as a former college SID that men are kind of put on this pedestal and male athletes are treated differently and maybe not given or given more recognition than some of these female athletes. But to have a night like tonight to recognize female athletes in particular, how important is it that we are doing this, even at a local level?
I think it's huge. And like you're saying, I think it's important to do at the local level all the way up. That I think it's great that we're seeing kind of at the national professional stage some of these athletes being given their flowers and getting the shine they deserve. But, there are women who are accomplishing incredible things all the way down to the smallest grassroots level. And I think, the lessons you learn from sports, no matter what you go on to do, are so important, no matter what level you stop playing at. Like for me, even someone who stopped in high school, like I think about the lessons that I got from being part of a team, from competing all the time. And that's true for so many high achieving women. And so I think just spotlighting these young women is so important. And it sounds like they've all done so much to be worthy of this honor. And it's just an incredible thing.
Well, we're grateful that you were able to join us here tonight. Emma Bachelari, Sports Illustrated writer. Pick up the magazine, go on the internet, read all of her stories. Really incredible stuff coming out of there. Again, we really appreciate your time, and thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you.
How many of you read it in physical copy? Still? Okay, 2 of us. Thanks, Eric. Thank you to Emma for her time. We've been really, really fortunate. I have been really, really fortunate that this is a part of the work that I do as part of this event. So selfishly, this has been extremely enjoyable for me, this journey. And we really appreciate Emma, her words of wisdom, her experiences. And please, pick up the magazine, subscribe, watch, listen, their podcasts, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. X, my bad. So yeah, check out her stuff. It's really great stuff. All right. Back to the stars. Let's honor next Annabelle Goyette from Lansingburg High School. Academically, Annabelle had a GPA of 98.6 and was ranked 3rd in her class at Lansingburg. She received merit scholarships from both Clarkson and RIT. Annabelle, who earned high honor roll recognition in every quarter of her high school career at Lansingburg, also received the Women in Engineering Merit Award. She was a member of the New Visions program. Athletically, Annabelle owns 2 outdoor track records at Lansingburg in throwing. She won the top form liftoff, breaking a 29-year-old school record. She served as a Colonial Council Leadership Summit representative and plays for the New York Knockout, a women's tackle football team, and competes in USA powerlifting. Annabelle's community service includes Troy Patriots Night, Carringer Stadium cleanup, and volunteering for the Berg Basketball Association. Annabelle becomes the 2nd Lansingburg High School student athlete selected by CDSWOY, joining Ariana Dingley, who was selected in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Annabelle Goyette.
I think so. I'm gonna try.
Making really good use of my pockets. Hello, everyone. I'd like to begin, actually, kind of on a whim, by thanking Angelina for singing that beautiful song, saying that she felt broken and wanted to feel whole again. It resonated with me and everything my family has been through with me in the last month, so thank you, Angelina.
I'd like to begin by thanking the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year organization for allowing me to be a part of something so much bigger than myself. I'd also like to thank the most important people in my life. To my mom and dad, thank you for being the wind beneath my wings, giving me the courage that allowed me to fly. Fun fact, my dad actually dragged me and my wheelchair through the sand on our recent vacation so that I could relax with my family. So when I say support, I mean real support, people. I'd also like to thank my Mimi and Grampy. You're the best grandparents and neighbors that any girl could ever dream of having. I've learned so much from you guys about life, love, and laughter. Thank you for being my campfire buddy, Grampy, and my soul sister, Mimi, and for both of you for being my biggest fans. Finally, to my coaches, I wish I had the time to name all of you. There's so many. Your athletes are only as strong as you allow them to be. It's true that iron sharpens iron, but good coaches who listen to and appreciate each individual athlete shape people who are not afraid to run into unknown territory. Exploring unmarked terrain, pushing our limits, embracing failure, and constantly pursuing more than what we already know we can do is how we achieve success. Coaches are a special kind of breed to me because they've already figured out that success isn't even always the best fruit of our labor. Coaches enjoy the process, the yelling at practice, the clang of a heavy weight hitting the crash bars, the vision of a worn-down athlete wiping away their tears and blood only to go out and search for more. Coaches love this part, and I think that each and every woman being honored with me today can say that they wholeheartedly agree. We work endlessly, not solely because we desire the end result, but because that beautiful and sometimes painful process is a part of life that we thrive in and are proud to believe in. Thank you, and congratulations to all of the recipients of this honor.
It's pretty impressive, just coming off knee surgery and she stood up here. That's good work. Next up, let's honor Keely Crystal of Scotia Glenville High School. Academically, Keely has achieved high honor roll or honor roll recognition every quarter since 6th grade. She's a member of the Junior National Honor Society and was selected to represent Scotia Glenville as the scholar athlete for women's basketball for Section 2. Athletically, in volleyball, she was a Foothills first-team All-Star and Booster Club MVP. Keely was a Foothills second-team basketball All-Star and was a Section 2 scholar athlete. She's a two-time Foothills Honorable Mention selection. Keely was selected as Foothills Softball All-Star and has been named an Albany Times-Union All-Star and was named to the NYSS-COGS All-State Softball Team. Keely's community service includes volunteering with KPM Restoration, with donation days providing free disinfectant solution to anyone in the community in need. Keely has served as a youth basketball official and with various youth camps. Keely becomes the first Scotia Glenville student athlete selected by CDSWOY. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Keely Crystal.
Hello and good evening. I would like to start by thanking my athletic director at Scotia, Miss Marcy Tabano, and my school coaches for nominating me for this award, and the CDSWOY committee for honoring me by making me a member of this year's class of award winners. Congratulations tonight to all the other award winners. I personally know one of you, but have heard a lot about all of you, and am so honored to be recognized tonight with such an impressive group of women. I have been fortunate to play for some amazing coaches during my time as an athlete. I would like to especially thank my school volleyball coach, Miss Lisa Strohmeyer, and my school softball coach, Mr. Eric McNulty. They are the cornerstones of two amazing programs at Scotia that I am grateful to have been a part of. In my career at Scotia, we had several basketball coaches, each of which also contributed to my development as an athlete. Of course, I need to thank Ms. Tabano and Mrs. Wells as the heartbeats of Scotia's athletic department. I will be leaving later this month for Springfield College, where I will be majoring in sports management and continuing my softball career as a pitcher. In addition to Coach McNulty, I would like to thank the Capital District Fusion organization, specifically Coach Rick Tedesco and Coach John Vandenberg, for helping to guide my career over the last 3 seasons. Last but not least, Mom, Dad, and Kellen, I am so lucky to have had you by my side during everything so far in life. From coaching softball and basketball teams for many years to being my loudest supporters in every aspect of life, helping me with homework, teaching me to drive, and showing me how important honoring your word to someone is. I can't thank you enough for all you have done for me. Words cannot describe how much I love you and always will. Thank you one last time to everyone I've mentioned, and congratulations again to the rest of tonight's award winners.
Thank you, Keely. Next, let's honor Olivia Landy from Columbia High School. Academically, I like the enthusiasm. Academically, Olivia graduated with an Advanced Regents diploma. She had a 95.5 final rank weighted average. Olivia was a member of the Math League, Student Council, and Devil's Advocate. Athletically, Olivia was a first-team state volleyball all-star and was named to the Suburban Council first team. She won 3 first-team basketball honors in the state for the Times Union and the Suburban Council. She was the Suburban Council MVP and a News Channel 13 All-Star. Olivia was a 1,000-point scorer, and her Columbia flag football team went 15-3 and reached the state semifinals. She was a captain in all 3 sports. In the community, Olivia joined her basketball teammates in the Adopt a Family program and wrote Valentine's Day cards for residents at senior homes. Olivia helped at the Columbia Multicultural Fair and served as a volunteer coach with the Unified Basketball Team. Olivia becomes the first Columbia High School student athlete selected by CDSWOY. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Olivia Landy.
Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for making all this possible. Without him, I would not be up here tonight. I would like to thank the Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, along with everyone else a part of the process, for nominating me and also making this possible. I want to thank all of my friends and family who constantly show me love and support in everything that I do. Thank you, coaches, trainers, and teammates, and even my opponents for pushing me to be and to do better every day. Growing up, I played almost every sport that there is. It took just one practice for me to realize that basketball is what I wanted to focus on. Every day since, I worked hard to be the best player that I can be. I began setting goals for myself, and with that, a new level of internal discipline started to develop. I realized that I can set even bigger goals for myself, both on and off the court, and so I did. After realizing the places that basketball could take me, I decided that I wanted to attend college on a full ride. And after years and years of training, it all paid off. I think that it can be easy to get caught up in the grind that it takes to be successful, but it is just as important to celebrate all of the wins in life, big or small. When we constantly focus and hyperfixate on the future, we miss out on the present. I would also like to congratulate the other nominees for this award and express how proud I am of each of you. So thank you again for recognizing us women for all of our hard work and accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. Next, let's honor Larissa Lee of the LaSalle Institute. Academically, Larissa was the valedictorian of the LaSalle class of 2025. She was the president of the National Honor Society and the Spanish Club. Larissa was the executive officer of the symphonic and jazz bands. Athletically, Larissa was a 4-year softball captain and a 3-year soccer captain. She started the first girls basketball team at LaSalle. Larissa received the Monica Bentley Memorial Award, which is presented to a student athlete who was outgoing and caring to others on the team. In soccer, she won the Coaches Award and was the MVP for the softball team. Larissa's community service includes serving in the 518 Ukrainians Helper Program, the Media Ministry at St. Nicholas Church, and the Van Rensselaer Manor Nursing Home for the LaSallian Youth Program. She organized a Dress Down Day fundraiser at LaSalle to raise money for Ukraine and is an aide for Ukrainian preschoolers. Larissa also tutors at Sunnyside Daycare and is a LaSalle ambassador and tour guide. Larissa becomes the first LaSalle Academy student athlete selected by CDSWOY. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Larissa Lee.
Good evening. My name is Larissa Lee, and I just graduated from high school at LaSalle Institute. I would like to start off by saying how thankful I am to receive this award. I appreciate everyone in my academic, sports, and volunteer communities. My varsity sports career started in the 7th grade when I joined the Catholic High varsity soccer team. I was lucky enough to play with my older sister, Isadora, and I learned a lot from my older teammates. I learned valuable lessons as a young player on a varsity team that I used at LaSalle when I became a part of the first ever girls soccer, basketball, and softball teams. Being a part of these beginnings is one of my proudest accomplishments. Using my previous team captains as role models, I strove to lead each of my respective teams, both on and off the field, and make each player feel included. I didn't do it for the recognition, and I'm still not sure I deserve an award like this one. I wasn't the best player on the soccer field or the best hitter on my softball team. However, I showed up for my teammates, my coaches, and my friends, and I put my blood, sweat, and tears into playing. I want to thank my athletic director, Mr. Gillespie, and all of my coaches. Thank you to my parents, my brothers, and my sisters. Thank you to all of my teammates, friends, and everyone that came to support today. Congratulations to all of the other girls here. You have done amazing things, and I am proud to be recognized with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Larissa. Leah, where are you? Say your last name for me. Midori? Mador. Here we go. It's your time. Next, let's honor Leah Mador of Russell Sage College. Academically, Leah graduated summa cum laude with a 3.9 GPA. She received 3 awards, the Cogswell Award, the Phyllis Van Vliet Award for Excellence in Psychology, and the Nancy Parker Newman Travel Award, while also earning Honor Society recognition. She was an academic peer tutor and was president of the Psychology Club. Leah served 2 years as the vice president of the undergraduate student body at Sage. Athletically, Leah was a 2-time second-team All-Empire 8 Conference selection. She led the Empire 8 in strikeouts in the 2025 season. She finished her career at Sage as the school's all-time softball leader in appearances, wins, complete games, strikeouts, and innings pitched, all in a 3-year career. Leah's community service includes serving as a Women's Institute ambassador and a caregiver for Spartanburg, South Carolina Area Mental Health Center, where she assisted clinicians in all aspects. She also served Susie's Little Peanuts, Every Campus a Refuge program, and as a caregiver in Newfane, Vermont. Leah becomes the 4th Russell Sage College student athlete selected by CDSWOY, joining Amy Stevens, Hallie Klosterman, and Megan Flynn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswomen of the Year, Leah Mador.
Good evening. As I gratefully receive this award, I want to acknowledge the commendable work of Eric McDowell and his team at Capital District Sportswoman of the Year to create a space of recognition for all the hard work, talent, accomplishments of this amazingly determined group of individuals. Congratulations to all my fellow recipients, as I understand the immense amount of academic and athletic work you have put in behind the scenes. I'm beyond grateful for this moment of recognition and for everyone who has supported me throughout my athletic and academic journey at Russell Sage College, where I was given a supportive space to develop as an athlete and a student. Despite my extensive involvement as an academic tutor, Women's Institute ambassador, president of the Psychology Club, or a volunteer for every campus a refuge program, I was never discouraged to remain involved. Sage offered me a unique experience to develop myself in scholarship, athletics, and in club and community involvement. While managing these various commitments, I was always met with support from my coaches and professors, and for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you to Sage's wonderful athletic director, Jim Lyons, for not only nominating me for this opportunity, but also the endless support you've offered me on and off the field while at Sage. I want to thank all my coaches and athletic trainers who have pushed me to develop myself as a player to compete at the collegiate level. When I was being recruited by Coach Lee, she told me that an important aspect of being a successful player is to have a high ceiling. I've carried this wisdom with me through my academic, athletic, and professional endeavors. Additionally, I would not be standing here today if it wasn't for the consistent love and support from my mom and dad. Thank you to my dad for the countless bullpens you've caught in the yard, and sorry for all the bruises you have endured from my drop ball. Thank you to my mom for unconditionally supporting me from t-ball, travel tournaments, to my collegiate spring training. And thank you to my older sister, Jess, for introducing me to the sport. My journey with softball has consisted of happy, celebratory moments, along with moments of failure. However, it is obvious to me now that those moments of failure were the ones which facilitated the most growth. I've learned that not every game or day is going to go your way, but what is most important is how you choose to respond in such moments. Through softball, I've had the opportunity to gain many close friendships, as well as the unexplainable feeling of being a part of a team. Lastly, I would like to recognize the importance of having role models, as I remember watching collegiate pitchers, such as my first pitching coach, Kayla Wood, a championship winning pitcher from Castleton, and knowing I wanted to eventually advance my game to that level. Now, I'm extremely grateful to help further the sport by hopefully inspiring and encouraging younger athletes in a similar way. This fall, I'm eager to continue my academic career by attending the University of Denver in Colorado to get my master's in clinical psychology. Again, thank you to Eric McDowell and this Capital District Sportswoman of the Year team for creating this moment for myself and this team of wonderful athletes, as it is so important to recognize the triumphs of young women, especially at this time in history. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Let's meet Allie O'Rourke of Burnt Hills Ballston Lake High School. Academically, Allie was a 3-time High Honor Roll member and in the National Honor Society. Allie was an International Club member and in the Math Honor Society and World Language Honor Society. She graduated with an Advanced Regents Diploma with the BHBL Merit Seal. Athletically, Allie played for 3 Section 2 Class B field hockey champions. She was a member of 4 Section 2 Suburban Council championships. Allie was a 2-time New York State Public High School Athletic Association All-State Tournament Team pick and a 2-time Albany Times Union Field Hockey First Team All-Star and a 3-time Suburban Council First Team All-Star. In outdoor track, Allie was a member of numerous 4x400 championship events and the New York State Section 2 Division II Team Championships in all 4 years at BHBL. She holds school indoor track records in 4 events and 5 outdoor events. In the community, Allie serves as a coach with youth track and field hockey. She's helped organize youth field hockey summer camps and youth field hockey tournaments. Allie becomes the 2nd Burnt Hills Ballston Lake student athlete selected by CDSWOY. She joins Carly Resitarski. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Allie O'Rourke.
I'm grateful for so many people who have helped me to become the person and athlete that I am, and of course especially grateful to my parents for their countless hours and dollars committed to allow me to participate in my sports. Secondly, I would like to thank Coach Vroman and Coach Loria for always believing in me and teaching me so many lessons for both field hockey and life. Coach Freestone and Coach Shell for always being so passionate and enthusiastic about my success. Coach Megan for teaching me the importance of not just being competitive, but of being a lifelong athlete. Mr. Scalise and Mrs. Chevalier for all that you do for my teams. I'm going to miss our chats in your office after school. Next, I have to thank some of my teammates. Mia Paulino for sharing her love of running with me and teaching me about the importance of working hard. Julia and Addison for making the everyday mundanity of practice so much more enjoyable. To Quinn for always making me laugh and being with me in both sports every season. To Cassidy and Sam for all the long hours I spent practicing with them that were all worthwhile when we got to celebrate together. To Addie Wood, who takes pride in her ability to make me a better person. And to the boys in the boat for all the endless entertainment and memories. To Maggie and Katie for driving me to practice every week and making me laugh harder than I previously thought possible. And of course to Lily Morse. You have always been more like a sister than a friend to me, and getting to not only live and grow up by your side, but also get to play my favorite sport with you has been one of my life's biggest blessings. Thank you for always being there for me, holding me accountable, and pushing me to want the best for myself. I also want to thank all the bus drivers and parent volunteers who none of this would be possible without. And lastly, Mrs. Ferry, for always believing in me, encouraging my will to succeed. You have always been one of my biggest supporters, and your kindness, passion, and positivity inspire me every day. I feel so truly blessed to be surrounded by so many amazing people who not only make my success possible, but are also the reason I enjoy it. Thank you for your time and your endless support, and to everyone who helped me to be receiving this award today.
Thank you, Allie. And last but certainly not least, let's meet Ava Poupard of the University at Albany. Academically, Ava has previously been named to the IWLCA Academic Honor Roll. She's a 4-time Dean's List honoree and was named to the America East Commissioner's Honor Roll twice, as well as twice being named to the America East Academic Honor Roll. Athletically, Ava was named to the America East All-Tournament team and was a second-team America East All-Conference selection. She tallied 21 multi-goal and 28 multi-point games throughout her career. Ava finished her career with 76 goals and 98 points. She was a member of the back-to-back America East Championship teams in her final 2 seasons at UAlbany. In the community, Ava co-founded the Hidden Opponent in her freshman year. This is a student-athlete mental health awareness chapter. She was the president for 2 years. UAlbany's chapter of the Hidden Opponent is one of the most active in the country in just 4 years' time. Ava served on the Student-Athlete Advisory Committee as well. Ava becomes the 4th University at Albany student-athlete selected by CDSWOY, joining Katie Pascal, Amanda Chambers, and Katie Filatico. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 2025 Capital District Sportswoman of the Year, Ava Poupard.
Hi, everyone. I'm incredibly honored and humbled to stand here tonight as one of the recipients of the Capital District Sportswoman of the Year Award. First and foremost, I want to extend a congratulations to all the other incredible women being awarded tonight. To my coaches and staff, especially the Katie Rowan Thompson, thank you for pushing me, believing in me, and teaching me how to lead with both grit and grace. The lessons you instill in your players are unique to our program. You teach us to be present, grateful, and the values of a for-each-other culture. To my teammates, you've been my family. Every practice, every tough loss, and thrilling wins We've lived it all together. I would not be the athlete or person I am without your support. You have become my best friends for life. To my family, thank you for standing behind me since day one. You were there when I picked up a stick at just 3 years old, and you've been there every step of the way since. Dad, you've taught me the love of the game and coached me for more years than I can count. And Mom, you always knew when me or even a teammate needed support, whether that was a hug or some extravagant tailgate. From absolutely never missing a game, no matter the long drives, the flights, to the late night pep talks, both of your unwavering belief in me has been my foundation. Thank you to the Albany team for nominating me for this award. Thank you to our administration, Mark Benson, Vic, Katie, and many, many more, for the endless support to all women's sports at UAlbany. Professor Downey, thank you so much for being here tonight, for always supporting me both in and out of the classroom. Your encouragement and understanding have meant so much to me. Lacrosse has been more than just a sport in my life. It's been a compass, shaping my character, teaching me discipline, resilience, and how to rise after every setback. Through lacrosse, I've learned how to lead, how to fail, and how to fight for what matters. In that same spirit, one of the most meaningful parts of my journey has been my involvement with the Hidden Opponent. This is an advocacy group that fights to break the stigma surrounding mental health within athletics. As an athlete, I've seen firsthand the pressure, the silent battles, and the importance of having a space where it's okay to not be okay. It's been an honor to use my voice to help foster a culture where mental health is prioritized just as much as physical performance, because the strength is about so much more than what happens just on the field. I've been lucky enough to wear the Great Dane jersey and represent a university and community I'm incredibly proud to be a part of. But more importantly, I've grown through the relationships this sport has given me, the lifelong friends, the mentorship, the lessons I'll carry with me forever. Lastly, I want to thank the CDSWOY team for recognizing each and every one of these amazing women in sports. Thank you again.
We're different in the Northeast. You see that middle picture? She's playing in front of a snowbank. Like, we do things different. How about one final hand for all of our 2025 CDSWOY Award recipients? All right, I know you want to get out of here. Give me 2 more minutes. At this time, we have 2 final awards to announce in our 6th year of the Capital District Sportswomen of the Year Awards Gala. These awards will be surprises to the 2 students here tonight, as well as for their family, their friends, and everyone else here who can be so proud of them. We now present the 2025 Capital District Grand Collegiate Sportswoman of the Year Award to, we do a little drum roll, Grace Dobrinsky. Come on up, Grace. You don't have to speak again, but you got to come up. Grace, we're going to have you stay up here too, so just hang tight. All right, yeah, just stay here for photos. And next up, we now present the 2025 Capital District Grand Scholastic Sportswoman of the Year Award to Olivia Landy. All right, the 2 of you get together for a photo there. And stay there because we're calling everybody else down. So Grace and Olivia, if you could join Eric outside after this for the photo area upon our conclusion. We want to remind all of our honorees, the backdrop is out there. We need photos. Don't forget your award. Now we ask all of our recipients to come down with Grace and Olivia, snap some quick photos. So quick, all the rest of you, come on. Now we give them a round of applause, too. Yes.
And as they make their way down, save some applause right now for our MC. She works tirelessly for us. How about a big hand for Ashley Miller? Get some photos ready, but take a look at this group. Think about what they've done. And when you get down, just think of them, and you'll be smiling all over again. Thank you to all of you for coming tonight to support CDSWOY, and thank you to the parents for your amazing job with these wonderful young ladies. Thank you so much.
All right, I think Emma said it best. A good story is a good story is a good story. A good student athlete is a good student athlete is a good student athlete, no matter what school you come from, no matter where you live. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you all for being here tonight. Maybe we'll see some of you back here next year, but spread the word about this wonderful organization. Thanks, guys.